Which now brings us to Psalm 136, the great Hallel. And some of you would say, well, I'm not seeing praise a lot mentioned in here. The reason this one's called the great Hallel is because you basically have 26 acts of divine kindness portrayed here. And you'll notice how every verse is going to end. For his mercy endureth forever. Which brings us back to chesed.
So 26 times. Now, we didn't talk about this a few Psalms ago, but we should mention it right now, that there's been some interesting research done about the word Mormon coming from some Egyptian words. The underlying Egyptian word mor comes from the word for love, and mon seems to come from the word enduring. Well, this is interesting. If you read then the Egyptian word mormon, it is quite plausible it means love enduring, or love endures forever. We've taught many times. The name is the lesson. Well, let's think about this. The book of God's love endures forever. If you turn to Moroni chapter 7, one of the greatest speeches of all time on love, it's Mormon's dissertation or speech on charity. And he says things like, charity never faileth. If you took that phrase, which is the Release Society model, and translated it back into Egyptian, you could legitimately write the word Mormon as a translation of the phrase, charity never faileth, or that God's love endures forever. This is the essence of who God is, of why the Bible was preserved, why the Book of Mormon was preserved. And notice right here, the great Hallel, Psalm 136, 26 times, it's about God's everlasting mercy. His mercy, or his love, endureth forever. So now this comes in from the Hebrew. If we wanted to translate Psalm 136 into ancient Egyptian, the ending of every one of these verses could legitimately be translated with the word Mormon. Mormon, 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 26 times. So as you think about that phrase, God brought forth the book of his enduring love to set the foundations for the restoration, to declare unto us it's all about covenantal love. And he invites us in. It's one of the reasons I love Psalm 136, is because it focuses again and again on the whole message is his mercy, his love. It's about love enduring forever, Mormon.
Which is fascinating because at the end of chapter 1 of First Nephi in the Book of Mormon, he tells you that he will show unto you that the tender mercies of the Lord are over all those whom he hath chosen. And then you go to the very last chapter of our Book of Mormon, Moroni chapter 10. And in verse 3, he tells you that when you receive this book, that you should ponder how merciful the Lord hath been unto the children of men, down to the time that you shall receive this book. The thing that the scriptures seem to want us to focus on is not God's justice and judgment, even though that's in here. That's a part of his attributes and characteristics. But the emphasis seems to be on his loving kindness and mercy that endures forever. It's his chesed. It shows up all over the place. Now, as we close off these...
That's a great connection, by the way. You have these bookends. Nephi begins this record, I'm here to declare God's hesed. Moroni ends the record, says, okay, you have all the writings now. I want you to spend time reflecting on God's hesed. And when you pray to talk to God about it, that's what you ask. Is this all true? Is his hesed true? And the only answer is absolutely yes.
Not just true thousands of years ago, thousands of miles away, but God's loving kindness endures forever today, even in the midst of the very, very afflictions that you're going through right now, and the struggles and the heartache and the questions and the doubt and the frustration and the sin, all of it mixed together. God's chesed is active today.